Box Voy Boy. I'm making a hard read. It's going to game 3.
It's going to game 3?
Mm-hmm.
And who's taking it in game 3? Because Box was dominant in game 3 against Forsen.
The favorites have come out on top every game 3. Game 3, you can no longer hide behind, blunders from the other team. Your skill gap, I think, increases the less time you have to play. Is that a smart thing to say?
The skill gap increases the less time you have to play. I would say yes, to an extent, but there's also much more variance because people are blundering more often.
I see. Yeah, I do see the variance. I just can't see Voy Boy I can't see him like missing stuff. I don't know, man. I haven't seen him play that much because honestly, if I want to go to bed and throw on some League of Legends, that's about it. I'm out in 2 minutes. But I've seen him play chess a bit, and he seems like so tight. Is that a word you guys use in chess? Like he's not gonna up for you.
Seems fair.
You have to find the win. And I don't know if Box has had to find the win that many times. I mean, he did against Forsen, but that was only after a blunder. He's not really found a win without it being handed to him. And I don't know if Voy Boy will do that for him. I think he might sneak a game. I could not imagine he wins the whole thing without some miracle plays.
Can we go back to that point about the league, how it puts you to sleep? Because how many people in this tournament are league players?
Too many. Too many, Hess, I will say. Let's get our Just Chatters in there, okay? We work hard, Hess. You have to pull up a video, and then you have to watch it, okay?
You're not a Just Chatter.
I'm not done.
Okay.
Then you have to react with faces that will make chat make similar faces. And you have to do this constantly. It's hard work, all right? League of Legends Challenger, sure. Reacting to unusual memes, number 87, that's talent.
Fair. Okay. I support that because it really is a lot of work to make people think you're being authentic when you're
Well, let's
screaming.
not get into the weeds of it here. No, we all have our own styles. You like to play different openings. I like to laugh occasionally when something's not funny.
Well, at least you listen to me when I talk about opening. So
yeah,
you've learned.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think if we played, I have a question for you. If we played, are they into it right now?
They are. They just started.
Oh no, they're into it. I'll ask you later. Remind me.
Okay.
What is this opening from Box? Do you know it?
It's the Karo Khan defense, it's called. And the point is you put your pawn in c6 to defend your pawn d5. So if white were to take, you would take back with the pawn and control the center. And we can actually listen into Box because I think he's prepared specifically for this match.
It's all coming together. Yes, this lesson with Levy is paying off. Bishop comes out. Boom, boom. Oh my god, this is the first time an amount of prep has done something. I feel like this is also in the prep. Am I trading it off? Or am I just trading it off
What's the right answer here?
He should take it because he doesn't want to ruin his pawn structure.
Ah, crap.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
You lose your pawn to e-file.
Yeah.
I do remember. I'm trading it off.
And now the queen's out pretty early.
And that's okay for white to have the queen out because it's a very close position. It won't be attacked. But Box has a pretty ideal formation with his pawns.
Okay. And then after this, the prep ends, and then we just play as solid as we can.
It's good to know that he understands that what you have to remember is over, and now you just play chess.
Right. So he's cognizant of where the opening theory goes, and he's like, I kind of think this is familiar, but my preparation is done with, and now let's just go. It's a very important step to take, and I think that's what's helped him improve as a chess player.
Now we look to castle. The Karo Khan is very closed off, so there's a lot of room for mistakes. I have to play this clean.
And is the Karo Khan the one he plays because you're able to play it consistently regardless of the other opening? Is that that's why he likes it?
So the Karo Khan is in response to e4, and he plays it because it allows you to fight for the center pretty well. Mm-hmm. And as you see here, he needs to bring his knight out because otherwise he loses bishop. And what's funny about this is I had a lesson with Fusli where we talked about this exact position. It was off-stream lesson, but we talked about this exact idea.
Yeah, there's literally only one
Wait
good
a second.
response here.
Right.
This isn't what I remember prepping for.
He's gonna find it.
Oh no. The line I prepped for was different from this, I think.
Wait.
I should have thought about that move more.
He's highlighted both, but he only is looking at the top one. So I think it was more of just a cursory thing for chat that he's highlighting D7.
I think he just has where his. Oh no!
Yeah, that's a blunder.
Oh no! He didn't bring it to D7.
And I think it's a scenario where, like, you highlight it, you understand that the knight can move there, but you don't seriously consider it because you know that generally C6 is where a good knight goes.
Right. And that's the problem is when you rely too much on your memory and you're like, oh, he's just saying, oh, my knight's supposed to go there, but this is not the right position. And you continue doing what you've been told, but unfortunately it's the wrong time. Yeah, if we just go back here after the check, he was supposed to go knight to D7 and protect his bishop.
Yeah, I would not feel good about my position now, going against the favorite and also being down a piece in how many moves? This is 8 moves.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look good for game 1, but I don't know. How do you play when you're down this early? What do you do now?
So actually, Hikaru and I were talking about this earlier because Hikaru was playing a match against Magnus Carlsen, the world champion, and he was winning by 1 game, and then he lost a game, but he lost it so badly that he just was like, I played one of the worst games I'll play, and you forget about it. So you don't kind of eat yourself up the way you would if you're outplayed by your opponent.
Okay. So you just speed run through the game, or you just like, you try, but you don't exert all your mental force into a game that you just kind of had a dumb mistake on early?
Yeah, I always believe you should keep playing, especially in a time control like this. And it's not like Voyboy, he's a great player, but he's not finding every single last perfect move to ice the game. So there's still a possibility for mistake. But yeah, I think you ultimately have to go in, all right, I'm in a tough spot. Let me try to make the most of my chances, but let's really get mentally ready for the next game and conserve that kind of mental energy. And while we have Voyboy here, let's hear his thoughts because I'm sure he's not thrilled to win in this manner. It doesn't feel great when you kind of are the recipient of a blunder.
Mm-hmm. I go bishop here, though. If pawn pushed, then his castle is ruined. And I could offer the trade here. And I develop my piece in any case. If he castles, then I could takes. That's not bad, I think. Takes away some of his defensive pieces, too. Let's try that. Oh, I thought I could change the diamond. PogChamps got an angry face. I wanted something happy. Why doesn't it just pop up a settings thing?
He does seem focused on the game at hand, Hess.
Yep.
I don't want to forfeit the match by changing my flare, but I really want to see I really want to make it like a smiley face or something. I don't know if he'll see it though if I do it.
This
Probably
is
not worth the risk right now.
Insanely analytical idea.
Games,
I do like this move from Box though.
Yeah, he's opening a potential attack on the queen.
It's the same thing I was thinking of. If he now takes, because he was talking about taking with bishop. If you take with your knight, then you get a little bit of tempo as black.
Yep.
That's his type.
You attack the queen, and behind the queen, that pawn on c2.
Okay, so here, just go queen back. P castles. It's okay. Could also go here takes. If queen takes, then I just trade and I'm winning. If knight takes, then
I think he's seeing the idea of it.
I go here check. Rook would have to block, and then I could take here. If rook takes here,
so one of the best things about Voyboy is he really is thinking about like every possibility.
Yeah.
And obviously there's no way he can see every single last move and the response to every move, but he does a really good job of just like saying what are the possibilities here, what do I have to avoid, and he eventually came to the decision to take this knight with his bishop.
What's interesting is I feel like everything he's thinking about is an offensive move.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've heard him even say once, maybe I should consider castling. I think he understands that like it's his pressure to play because he has every piece moved up and he can go for, some eventual mate or just attack on the black side.
Yeah, he is up a piece, but you're raising a kind of a good point here that when you're up a piece, you may get complacent. You're like, oh, I'm already up material. I don't need to do anything. But then your opponent strikes back and it can be problematic. He's saying, I'm going to keep up the pressure so that I don't even let box back into the game.
Yeah, and this is literally, he talked us through what he's now walking us through, which is crazy. He said every single thing that's going to happen and what he'll do to respond to it. And so he's taken what? I think 5 seconds off the clock to make all those moves that box is taking about 3 minutes to do.
Yeah, I think that really shows Voyboy's experience because he played chess as a child and he played in some competitive tournaments. So,
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, with that kind of background, I think he feels more confident. Whereas Albert's rating is 1300. You see box 1311. He has gotten quite good, but he's not always confident in his choices. He's like second guessing himself. Whereas Voyboy, now there are moments where maybe he's a little too confident. Which, I'm going to go for this idea, and then shoot, I should have seen that my opponent has this response.
Yeah.
So I think that's where experience really pays off.
Yeah, I mean, he took a minute to make that move. I think Voyboy already decided his response would be to take on b7. He might be considering other things now because he can see the board, but I think that's true. It's a good point. Confidence is what I lack the most. I think.
Wait, you lack confidence?
In chess, dare I say, yes, Robert. I think all the newer players who just started competing, we lack confidence in what our move's supposed to be and what's right or wrong.
I think that's true. I think that's very true. And it's easy to get down on yourself. Like you miss a move and you're like, oh, how could I miss that? And part of it's that all the information is in front of you. Even if you're not, nobody is going to find all the right moves, but it is there. There's nothing hidden, right? There's no pawn in your back pocket that you can throw onto the board. So I think that's part of what frustrates people. But I also think that, I'm saying this to you as well, even though we're equals as commentators, but I think that as a newer player, that it's very important not to just like get too down on yourself and think, oh, like how could I make that mistake? And I think actually box in particular is great at analyzing his games, even when he loses, and he's still in high spirits because he is enjoying the learning process without being too down on himself when he blunders.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think at our levels, that's kind of like a similar. We get that for sure.
Right. And okay, now he took on b7 because this knight on d4 is hitting this rook on c6. So let me ask you, how would you try to salvage this game if you were box?
Oh, yeah, great. If I'm box in the scenario, I'm thinking this queen's not in the best spot. Let's get her. Let's keep her in this position and limit the places she can go. And I think box sees that idea. So literally blocked the queen to being able to do one move.
That's right.
And then from there, you can get some sort of continued pressure on her.
And let's tune into box to hear his thoughts because now he actually has a pretty decent chance to trap that queen.
I go here. Can he escape? I don't think he can escape. Oh my god. I think I got his queen.
This is the most ASMR sigh I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem. I think that happens on both sides. The B file is so tempting.
Let's assume he goes here.
And can't screw you.
Oh no. He then goes here.
He really wants to trap that queen. He has the right idea.
Yeah, I don't think he can get it, and that's not my intelligence talking. That's just me looking at this chart,
I didn't fully get his queen.
which does not have
my
him
God.
like guaranteed getting a queen, or else I'm assuming the black would be much more favorable, right?
Right. If that queen were to be trapped, then the evaluation score would be heavily in black's favor, whereas now it's about level.
Feels like there must be a way.
He's working it out. The thing is that he has to realize, Ludwig,
There
is
must
the
be.
queen is trapped and it's stuck there. So even if the queen goes to a8, it's not getting out in the near future. So he can castle. He can bring his king to safety to help bring the rook into the game to then go and try to trap the queen.
Yeah, there's still an advantage even if you don't get everything.
Right.
Crap, I don't think there is one.
But the good news for him is that knight c8 and castling are the two main moves for black here. And both of them are good moves.
Okay, not sure if you're on a call with him, but he immediately goes for a castle.
Nope. Only person I'm going to call with is you.
Is there really
man.
no way to finish this off?
Flattered, flattered.
Knight goes here. If only I could go here. But I can't drive that knight off. There's got to be a way to finish off this queen. He goes here. I'm low on time.
Yeah, hopefully he realizes the time aspect and that he
But then, if my knight moves, he can just trade
can't
one
pour
for one
all
with
the
my queen.
resources into figuring out if there even is a tactic.
There's no way to
Right.
finish it off.
But he clearly has the right idea. Like he's ready to pounce on that queen. He just needs to put it all together.
Wait, actually, maybe there is.
Oh. I mean, he has to bring the knight back there. He does it. He's looking at it. There it is.
I'm not sure about the timing on this. But I have to act quick.
Okay, cool. It looks like he's abandoned trying to get this queen and decided to make an attack of his own.
The thing is, so because he wants to trap the queen immediately, he might not see the move queen to c7, which then frees the knight up to move. And I can show this now on the board. That if you play queen c7 and black gets one free move, I'm going to move my knight away from c8 to a7, and then your queen is totally trapped over here on a8.
Oh, so there is a trap.
Yes.
Oh, come on. Don't quit. Oh, he quit already. Damn, the Hessian trap. Who would have known? Well, I think it's still fine, right? I mean, he still has the queen locked in there. I guess. Yeah, he has an attack on the knight, which was his goal.
Right. And he thinking about giving his king a check here as well.
I think the problem is, can he stop that pawn?
Which pawn?
The pawn on A4 right now. Can it not just pressure the rook and then throw this all into shambles?
It can. And a5 is probably a useful move, but I also think it's a hard one to necessarily play when you think that your knight's under attack and your king's on the center, but a5 is actually a very good move.
Ludwig Gambit, it is the A5 pawn,
Hey.
Hess.
You're really good with pawns on that flank over there.
It's the only file I look at for the other pawn. The other pawns don't matter. B through H's are jokes. And he does play it. The Ludwig Gambit coming in 2 games straight.
So are you on a call with Voyboy?
No, come on, man. I just look. The Ludwig app needs to spread awareness, and we do it through the Ludwig Gambit. It's called a marketing tactic.
Oh, wait. Did you see that? Okay, that was a huge decision.
He decided to give away both rooks in favor of taking the queen and the knight. Which
Yes,
seems like a positive trade.
Okay, that was crazy because here the queen could have escaped back through a7
Yeah.
because the queen is no longer over on the queen side. So he could have escaped with his queen. Instead, he decided to sacrifice the queen for 2 rooks and losing the knight. But this pawn is very strong. I think that's what Voyboy is relying on, is this very strong pawn on b6.
Yeah, that That was bold. I think it was worth it. I think he was putting all of his efforts and thoughts into like this queen, and he was making no progress whatsoever on advancing, checkmating the black king. And so, I mean, he has the ability to do that now. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good sacrifice. And now he can go rook up to a8 to pin this. And wow, Voyboy is so quick. I mean, he saw that instantly. This knight,
I don't know how he did that so quickly. I think he saw the plan from the get-go, and now he's in trouble.
Ludwig, look at
that is.
the last 5 moves that Voyboy's played. It says 2.5 seconds, 0.1 seconds, 5.6 seconds, 1.1 seconds, 3.8 seconds is how much time he spent in the last 5 moves.
It was very deliberate. I don't, like he sacrificed the queen to capture 2 rooks, and he understood that this would not only lead to losing his queen, but losing his knight and then possibly losing a pawn, but he'd have a better attack. And now he does have a better attack. Rather than just sitting with his, thumb up his waiting for something to happen and maybe get the queen free. So I was sick.
That was awesome.
Boy Gambit does pay off.
Hey, those League of Legends guys, right?
Look, they're boring on the on the Rift, but they're nice. There's no rhyme here, but League of Legends is what I want to end my sentence with.
Oh man. So, let me ask you something. So you see that black has a queen and white has 2 rooks and a knight. So the 2 rooks and a knight are worth more. But if you had this position from the white side, would you feel confident in your potential to win this game? Or do you still think that it's too closed off for white to get anything done just yet?
I mean, he's going to have to push his king, right? Like he's going to have to like make some advance with his pawns here. And it's such like the pawns haven't done anything yet. They're on the 7th rank. And so they have to move so far to get anything done. I'm even talking about black here, because I feel like you can't just get this done with your queen by yourself. You can't. So you need to push all your pawns, and you can get this done as white with 2 rooks.
That's actually an exceptional point, because this sounds obvious, but 2 rooks are 2 pieces. So you can actually apply pressure on a square, whereas just a lone queen, that's not enough. So that was a really astute point there. So rook to b1. This knight can come to e4 at some point. These rooks can come up the board along the b file, and just don't blunder a back rank checkmate. There's a rook here, there's a knight here, you'll be okay. But at some point, you should probably consider pushing a pawn so his king has squares to run to. Yeah. And he throws in the knight e4 check, and BoxBox has 30 seconds left.
Yeah, BoxBox took so much time trying to find the queen trap and never found it, unfortunately, but now is working with, seconds to the minutes that Voyboy has.
Yeah, Voyboy's up 3.5 minutes and has the 2 rooks and the knight for the queen. It looks like he's going to secure the full point. But BoxBox is trying. Queen f5, if that knight moves, maybe you lose this pawn on c2. And if you lose that pawn, then the pawn on d4 becomes a passed pawn. And there it goes.
Yeah, he does see all of it.
Oh, he missed it. The king is on a potentially vulnerable diagonal. So he had this move queen c6 before to check the king, and there was a knight on d6 that he would have been able to take.
I see. I do like the pawn push.
He should push it again there. He goes with it. And I think that Voyboy is going to take the pawn.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the knight, it's not going to help get a mate. And it's like, it's a little, he's mischievous and he can work around, but I think you're fine without it.
Ideally, you'd be able to stop the pawn. So knight to c3 made sense to try to get your knight to d1. But here we see the rooks versus the queen now. Very different.
Yeah, I know this kind of sucks, because then even if he pushes up this pawn, then you can just get like a check for Voyboy, which just takes too much time to react to with 27 seconds. It's going to take more than 5. He's going to lose time. And so he can keep throwing on some checks.
Right. And I think he will. Let's listen into Voyboy to see if he feels confident in his chances to convert this position. He's completely quiet, completely focused.
Running mate in 1.
Oh,
He pushes, and I trap the queen and the king, and
he
I
saw
win.
it.
I think I have mate, right? That's checkmate.
Wow, he saw it.
Oh my god, dude. Holy.
Dang.
Albert's a beast.
And a lot, much different
That was
tone
hard.
than the game before.
That was a tough game. What the hell, dude? I was up a piece, and I freaking almost lost my queen. Holy.
That's high praise from Voyboy for his opponent. No talk of any actresses or actors.
You know,
But I think it's a good point. It's a good point. He was up a knight, right, off rip, and then Box made it tight. It was a good game.
Okay, well, everybody stay tuned because there will be a second game. Box will have a chance to even the score, and we'll be bringing Hikaru Nakamura back. So stay right to where you are. Ludwig's tired of me. So stay where you are. We'll bring Hikaru on. We'll be back in just a few minutes. And he's back. He pretty much ran a marathon, sprinted to the, drove to the get a new router, but he's back. Hikaru, thanks for coming back for us.
It's good to be back. I heard that I missed a lot of fun times, to put it mildly.
We needed you because Ludwig and I were on the verge of becoming friends, and that can't really happen. So
I also just missed out on your commentary and analysis. Like when they were talking specifically about Johnny's sins, I knew Hikaru would have a great quip in this spot, and we missed out on it. So I'm glad you're here now because this level
Ludwig,
of play,
Ludwig, I'm a very wholesome person. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, Hikaru, we all know what happens. Hikaru, something funny happens. It's a little inappropriate. He does this. It fades to a different scene where his face is, and then Hikaru busts out laughing because deep down, this GM's got a dirty sense of humor.
Fairly true. Good assessment, Ludwig. That's not far from the truth.
But yeah, these guys played game 1, and it was 5 head all around. I'm trying to keep up with them, but Box is a different animal. I don't know.
I saw like the opening, like the first like 10 moves or something. I saw a white queen down in the corner, but Voyboy was just up a knight, I thought. And then somehow it became complicated. I saw like a queen against 2 rooks near the end, right before it ended. So I was just confused by what happened in this
He was up a knight and then captured pawn on B7, and then had his queen get trapped. And they spent a long time just trying to figure out what to do until the Voyboy gambit came into play.
Okay. So he got the queen trapped down there. Okay. But it still was winning.
Yeah, it still was good. And then he went all the way out here, queen h4, and this was a very good move. It was Ludwig's suggestion. So I didn't suggest it, all him.
It's whatever. I'm just new to chess.
It was a good move. He's trying to free the queen. And then we saw a massive exchange here. And that was the big mistake, I would say. You had to take this pawn on b6, the more advanced pawn. He took this pawn on b2, and then it was all Voyboy from there, and he converted this.
Well, but it wasn't at the end because he could stop the checkmate, right?
Right. Oh, so yeah. So what happened was he ended up losing this pawn, and then giving the knight back. And at this point, here he went
G6
h5.
was still playable, but
right. So the king can escape here.
Okay, that's how it occurred. Because I heard that it was winning. I saw it was winning. Then I heard it was winning, and then like I started looking towards the end again as I was getting back, and it did. Kind of went sideways, but still a good win nonetheless for Voyboy. And I guess Box looks pretty serious though. Looks very stoic.
He was a little sullen after we cut to him, because this is his match. This is like his David versus Goliath moment. He doesn't care about the finals. He cared about beating Voyboy.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I don't blame him. It's pretty tough to lose a game like that, but I think the fact that he was completely lost and he actually had a chance later on is a good sign. I mean, he has white, which is what he wants, right? I mean, you want white in the second game after you lose in a must-win game. So I think he's still very much in the game.
He is, and he has the white pieces. He just surprised Voyboy with the Caro-Kann, but even though he was talking about his first time opening preparation worked, just at the end of his preparation, he actually blundered. So if we go back to the opening real quick, he was surprised by this queen b5 check, and he needed to put his knight to d7 to block the check and protect the bishop. Instead, he went knight c6 because he was still thinking about how the knight wants to go to c6, a more advanced square. And that's where preparation has to be not just about memorizing a series of moves, but thinking about what your opponent just did.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But again, he's got white. He just needs to refocus, and I think he can definitely do it. But it is hard because in a competitive, I guess like I don't know, but Ludwig would have a better take on this than I think I would. But because I think across various games, trying to react to when you lose, I'm not sure there's that like a hard set like thing that you did wrong to lose in other games. Like maybe you did something wrong, but I don't think it's as clear cut. Whereas here in like 5 seconds, you can go and see exactly what you did wrong. And I think Box certainly did that. So I think when you can have that instant like knowledge, it makes it hard psychologically perhaps to recover, unlike say in other games perhaps.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I would say in chess specifically, they show you your blunder right after. And so, yeah, they don't do that in other games. They just like when you get peaked in Valorant and then lose your gunfight, you usually just call them an idiot and move on with your day.
Right.
But Riot.com doesn't say, "Hey, man, that was a
It's
bad
like literally
idea."
do this, yeah.
But enough about Valorant. I'll coach you on that later, Hikaru. We're in it. And he's ditched the Caro. Has he ditched it? Oh, he's white. Yeah, he's white.
What is he playing actually? Why is he playing this modern? Did you help him, Robert?
I didn't. No, I told Voyboy when I worked with him that I would not help him with anything with respect to Box because I'd worked with Box too, and so I wasn't going to prepare them for each other. When I did my lesson with Voyboy, it was all just tactics and thinking about the position psychology stuff. But Box got exactly what he wanted with this.
Yeah, I don't like this opening. I just don't like it. I don't like it by Voyboy.
Because he walked into Albert's kind of wheelhouse here.
Well, I feel like it's very easy. Albert should know to castle the king and then push the pawn to f4. Of course, he needs to push the other pawn to d3 as well, but it's very straightforward. It's a plan that he's looked at in all of these different setups. So that's why I really don't like this choice by Voyboy. I don't like it at all.
What about you, Ludwig? When you see this opening,
I just know I'm only worried about Albert. Albert likes doing stuff that he's comfortable with, and I think he was kind of uncomfortable with the Caro-Kann, and obviously just made like a simple mistake in the opening. But this is the one like he knows. He just likes doing this. When we play blindfolded, he goes for this because he just knows that it's like the safest way to go, and he'll probably get it off regardless of what Black does.
Yeah, he wants to go h3, d3, pawn f4. He knows the exact setup, and actually, he's very fortunate that on the move 1, Voyboy put his pawn d6 because the lines that Albert struggles most with is when this bishop's on c5. So this bishop's here. I think he'll be okay. Let's listen in on Voyboy to hear how he's dealing with this position.
Here takes. Okay, bishop could go here with the pin. If I go h6, is that bad?
Is it bad?
It's not best.
It's bad, Voyboy.
Get it.
I think it might be okay. Move my king up. Sweet. Feels like I'm weakening my castle a little bit, but it does prevent his bishop from developing to a great square and pinning my knight. So I think it's okay. I want to attack the center, so let me figure out how to do that best.
Seems like he's a pretty good feel for the position right now.
Yeah, I like what he's doing. Again, I worry though for Voyboy that the center white gets these pawns in the center that take a lot of space, and the ideas for Black here I think are very, very difficult to find. Like for example, I don't know if you felt the same way, Robert, but one thing that I try to tell people who I was coaching is that they need to have pawns in the center of the board. Because the idea is if you don't have pawns taking central squares, you have to understand where you push the pawns when you try to break the pawn structure of your opponent. And in this sort of a position, it's very hard for Black to come up with ideas. And I've always hated these positions, even in my own games against grandmasters, because the white plans are so easy.
I'm completely with you. I think that White is already attacking something, and you see that here, Black's like, oh, okay, that was a very important decision. But now Albert can take with pretty much any of his pieces, with this pawn, or with the knight, or with the bishop, and all are going to be good moves. And Black.
So actually, just so that Ludwig understands what we're referring to here. So let's say you take with the bishop.
Yeah.
Because when I said pawn break, that's something I think most people in chat as well are going to be like, well, what are you talking about? That makes no sense. So
Sure, yeah,
like
for chat.
So White has all these pawns in the center. So like, for example, when you try to break like the pawn structure, the way you would do this, for example, is say push the pawn to d5. Say e5.
Yep.
Knight fd7. Pawn to d4 to protect the pawn. And now pawn to c5.
Pawn to c5.
So it's like what it is like you try to attack the pawns with your own pawns, but when you don't have pawns in the center of the board and you have less space, you basically have to play for this theme so that you don't just end up getting pushed back further and further where you've no space for your pieces. And these sorts of themes, like understanding where you try to attack the pawns, is something that's very advanced. It's something that someone who's probably below master level is going to struggle with greatly. So that's why when I was coaching especially, I really made sure not to suggest these sorts of openings, and why it really worries me for Voyboy here, because the ideas of knowing where he's going to have to push his pawns in the right order to sort of neutralize all of White's ideas. And so I that's why I really don't like this.
I'm going to pull a different Robert card, take the road less traveled. I do like it. I think Voyboy does something that most of us in this tournament don't, because we're trying to think constantly of the openings we're taught and what's correct. And I think at the higher level, you guys take abstract ideas, attack the center, attack the right side, move our forces over. And Voyboy's doing that. So he understands what he has to do. He has his raison d'etre. And I don't know if Box does. He just knows that this is a pretty good position, that like Hikaru said, like this would be a pretty good position. And he's doing that. But I think if you don't know exactly what you're supposed to be attacking, or better yet, what they're going to be attacking, it can be really just tricky. I don't know. I find it personally like really tricky when I don't know what I'm attacking, but I know I'm supposed to be doing this. And so having to remember that, or just being able to figure out how you're going to implement what the idea of your opening is, I think is hard. And I think Voyboy knows how to do that better than I think anyone in the tournament.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I would think that Voyboy and Hutch are the two players who are best at that.
Yeah.
And it's because they have more long-term experience. So even if they don't get exactly what they prepared for, they're able to understand the distinction. Whereas we just saw Albert, Box, he put his piece on the wrong square in response to check, and the bounce, right, Ludwig?
Mm-hmm.
The bounce, you saw that bar go up?
Yeah, it do be bouncing.
It's bouncing. And part of the reason why is, oh my gosh, it doesn't know what it wants here. But White has a huge center. So if you play d4, to Hikaru's point, like White has the very easy control of the center, and then Black has to decide at which moment and what pawn plan am I going for with a c5, and he plays e5 right away, which is not a bad move, pretty good move, because also, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going for.
Oh, let's listen to Box to hear if he's confident about his position, because he really should be.
Sorry about the notifications. My phone's loud.
And he's quiet.
Annie, can you silence my phone for me? It's right
Android.
Here. I'm gonna toss it over.
Hey, what do you have against androids?
Hey, nothing, man.
didn't
I
want anyone to
love
think I was
taking
cheating,
1
so I didn't wanna
megapixel
look at it.
photos.
now we're gonna have an argument pretty soon too. Okay.
I mean, he's locked in here.
I'm glad I didn't push this pawn up too early. I remember being told, like, if you don't need to push the pawn, don't push it. Wait for the option. Or hang on to the options. And now we got this really
Did you
good
tell him that,
option.
Robert?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
I'm pretty sure I get his rook
I
or his knight no
also
matter
told
what. now.
him that in passing. Briefly, just bring it up sometimes.
I think this is close to
This is
winning for
fun.
White, actually, when I look at it.
I need
I
to remember
think
this.
he might get worried about taking this pawn on b7 with his bishop, because he's worried about his king. That's what I think might hold him back. I always love his music, though. Oh,
Nice.
wow, he's got this. He's got this under control.
Are we gonna see a third tiebreak today? That's what I'm starting to wonder.
That'd be hype.
Okay. He either has to give me his rook or he gives me his knight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hang on.
So
If I
rook,
take
go
this, it's a
for
little
it.
scary.
Go
His
for
queen
it.
gets an insane diagonal.
It's a big decision.
Trust yourself. You have nothing to lose.
And true, he needs to win.
I think he'll find it because the alternative move isn't.
I should still take it, but I have to be very careful. Let's plug up the
So
diagonal.
he should push pawn to d4 here, but very tough to play.
Yeah.
Oh,
D4
actually, knight e4 is a good move too. Knight e4, pawn takes pawn f5, but that's too advanced.
Yeah, I was about to say that's really hard to find because knight e4, you're giving up this pawn on e5, and if you take playing f5 just to keep this bishop stuck on g7, that's at least 5 head, probably 10 head.
Yeah, very very hard to see that idea if you're not at least an international master.
Yeah, it's not very common to see that. So a lot of the idea we were talking about and is that when you take on e5, black is trying to open up all these squares for the pieces.
Square.
So if, like the e5 square, like if you take on e5,
Okay, sorry. Okay, go continue.
like I'll show you on the board. If takes, knight takes, and in comes this knight's like f3, and black's pieces are kind of flying.
Flying. Yeah. Because when they're flying, it's harder to catch them. I
Yeah,
got
this is
you.
very dangerous for white, but he has to go queen d2, I think, here. Get the queen out of this pin, and then he can recapture this pawn with the knight. And that bishop on this edge, the bishop on the edge of the board is really not very well placed.
Right. And I wonder if he's going to refrain because I think it is tempting to take, as that also opens up your bishop towards the black king, but it brings this knight in so quickly that I think he's scared. He's mentioned that he's scared about his king, but I'm curious to hear what Voyboy thinks. So let's bring him on, hear his thoughts, and see if he believes he has a real attack.
I think knight takes actually leads to more lines of play for me that could work out. Oh, he could go like, he could move his knight, and then I don't, oh no, he just can't, it's still pinned. No, that's actually really powerful. So yeah, no, actually, it seems pretty good. Okay, he went queen up instead. So if I take,
Played the Hikaru move.
obviously attacking this square. Knight's not pinned anymore. I think I'll just take back here.
He goes for it, and you could see him. You could see his eyes just scanning across the board, left and right.
Mm-hmm.
He's really trying to find his compensation here.
The cool thing is that Box put him in such a tough spot that the time's equal.
Right.
And he takes with the knight. Very important move here. Very,
Okay,
very
knight
good move.
takes. Threatening. What's he threatening?
You're gonna see that his bishop on h5 went.
I mean, bishop f3 is the best move here, but it's a very hard move to play, I think.
Yeah. Although by process of elimination, if you think that your bishop on h5 is in trouble, you try to look for the
Thinking my
squares you
pieces
might
like
be able to go
going
to.
ham.
I think that you could put it all together.
What about knight here? Threatening.
Also,
Knight
good
here.
idea.
If he takes here, then I take here. King has to go back to this square off the knight check. Then I could go. If I go here, check. These squares are covered. King goes here. Then what's my follow-up?
He's doing a great job.
Here,
thinking
check.
about
He
this
just takes. No, I don't like that line.
When is it enough? So he's thought through a lot and he ends up in a check. Obviously, at that point, it's not
Oh,
like he's
wow, he found it. Wow.
figured it out. Oh, he just gripped and ripped it. That's crazy. He talked about that knight move for like an hour.
Well, I mean, Hikaru suggested bishop f3, and by process of elimination, that's how he did it. He thought about knight g5, going for the attack. But then he realized that this kind of attack on the long diagonal is very valuable. And we heard him working through it, all these different possibilities. He realized that bringing the knight in was probably bad because the knight would have captured the bishop on h5. So he then moves the bishop away from the square. I mean, honestly, just impressive calculation there. We heard him go through it step by step.
Yeah, this is fantastic play by Voyboy. Bishop f3, and now you can retreat the bishop on the diagonal. Objectively, I think black is probably winning here. But Voyboy still has to find some moves, and of course, BoxBox has to bring the other rook in. You have to go rook e1 here. The one rook that's not in the game. The one piece that's not on a good square, and he really has to play that move pronto, or else bad things are going to happen.
It's just hard, man, because it's a lame move. You feel like you had him on the ropes. You feel like you're about to get something big happening. He plays f3. All of a sudden, you can't do anything with that bishop. And so you want to apply some pressure.
And
right. So this is also a good move. Try to stack the rooks.
Right.
Now, if Voyboy finds bishop b7, he deserves a prize, but he doesn't see it. Okay.
He played g5, which is not a terrible move, right? But it does look scary because that knight did want to come to g5. He was actually correct that his knight wanted to jump forward because from g5, you're hitting this h3 pawn and potentially going to the f3 square. So that's the real downside.
Can you maybe show this line? So, for example, say bishop b7 instead, just so the chat can see this. And now, like on rook f, just play a random move, a3. Sorry, just play a3 here. The black can play knight g5, rook f1, and then black can put the other knight on e5 with the idea of just, I don't even know how to put it, but the knight is going to f3, and with two of them aiming at that square, it's just crushing for black. Whereas in the game, after putting the pawn on g5, you lose the access for one of the knights to jump in to that critical square. Because now white can move the knight, and there's no square for the knight anymore.
It's good to illustrate that because the f3 square is important for the knight jump. And this knight on h7, that's probably going to be a problematic piece for maybe the rest of the game. But I'm also noticing that BoxBox is down to 2.5 minutes to Voyboy's 340. So that's a pretty big lead on the clock for Voyboy, despite the material deficit.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah, his past like 3 or 4 moves have been a minute, which is a long time to think. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to switch the mindset to just get the rook in and just get like a more favorable position. I feel like he had something going and he lost it, and I don't think it's clicked yet. But I think it's easier to just move your knight away. I like that. That's great. That was good, right, guys?
Yeah.
Well, there's one big you might see something very deep here, or it's not going to happen because he plays f5. But white, Ludwig, are you familiar with this concept of knight on f5?
Knight on f5.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so there's a saying in chess that if you can get a knight, let's say you're white, you get a knight to the f5 square. If you're black, you get a knight to the f4 square. It's like the most important square you can ever get a knight to. So something like this, you see how this knight gets to the square? If you get a knight to the square where it can't be removed, usually it's one of the strongest attacking pieces you'll ever have in any game of chess. So BoxBox was very close to getting that, but Voyboy stopped it here by pushing the pawn and preventing it. So this is an excellent move by Voyboy.
And a great response by BoxBox. And actually, let's tune in to hear BoxBox's thoughts. It's getting to be a critical time for him, under 2 minutes on the clock. And we're not really listening to anything because he's pretty quiet.
What a terrifying game. Holy shit. But I think I finally have a good move now. I go here. This forces his bishop out.
Oh, you can tell how nervous he is. His hand's shaking.
It's a terrible move.
Okay.
Knight g3. Knight g3 BoxBox. Come on, knight g3.
Yeah,
don't blunder checkmate in 1. Don't blunder checkmate in 1.
No, if I take
Knight
it,
g3.
checkmate.
Come on, BoxBox. Double attack. Come on, knight g3. You can do it.
Can't take. take.
The good news is his move is also pretty good to initiate an attack, but knight g3 was extremely powerful.
He could still do it, right?
Next turn I go.
Depending on the next move, yeah.
But he sees it now. He just highlighted it.
Yeah,
Oh
he
no,
just
I
sees
should have
it.
done this one first.
Yeah.
He just said it. But that shows improvement because he recognizes, like, just in the heat of the moment, he recognized, oh shoot, 20 seconds ago I should have made that move instead.
Yeah, okay, so you should take the bishop. And now move the knight to d4. Move your knight to d4. It's also not a bad move.
No, not at all. And Voivod has to see his knight on d7 is under attack by the queen.
Okay, so now he's got to go knight c3 here. Don't play e5. Don't play e5. Don't play.
He's hovering.
Wait, no, I'm fine.
He's saying he's 5, but two GMs are chastising
There's
him.
knight e4 with the fork of the queen and the rook.
I think I'm fine.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I'm barely fine.
Can he get out with check?
There's rook f7.
I have to check.
Oh,
He's
then
getting-
queen d4 or something, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's just watch it.
Oh wait. Oh no, this isn't that great.
Just realized it.
I don't think he has the time to worry about it, though.
I agree. He needs to play quickly.
Queen d4. Come on, queen d4.
Don't sack the queen.
Oh.
No time.
I think he's done maybe 3 moves under 5 seconds his whole game, and he's going to have all of them. Oh.
Yeah, the clock did him in.
Yeah, he's... No.
And Voivod plays a lot of blitz, so... Yeah.
Just takes...
Yeah, so he was, he's
I'm gonna try something.
trying to go for one last little...
Is he hoping he takes with queen and they can put him in check?
Well, he's going to take with the queen because that covers the squares that you're going to check me.
I see.
Oh,
I don't think he
wanna
sees
do
it either.
Just on the off chance that he doesn't notice.
I also didn't see that the queen covered it. Yeah, Voivod definitely sees that.
Yeah, Voivod snapped that one off so quickly.
I'll tell you what, though, in our 900 matches, that move crushes. They never see it coming. And then you get a free queen.
It's true.
It was the right choice. It was 100% the right choice to do that at the end of the game. 100%. Because he was already lost in the game, so definitely it was the right decision to hope that Voivod wouldn't see it. I totally agree with that choice, though. It's very good.
And we're talking about this choice here at the end is after queen takes d7, which was good because white was threatening to go knight e6 with a deadly fork, that the queen covers both checking squares. So you might as well go for it. You're down a queen for just a rook. And if he doesn't see it, you get to take the queen. But got to give props to Box. He put up a really good fight. He actually had this game. And, well, before we take a quick break to get the players on for an interview, I just want to remind everybody what tomorrow is. Because, hey, Ludwig, you're not going to be talking to us anymore, will you?
Nope. I have to do a bits of playing myself. And Hikaru, you're the one who said XQC is a surefire lock to move on. Is that right? Let's just can we quickly
like that.
check what is XQC doing right now? Is he playing chess in preparation for his match? Oh no, it looks like he's still playing 10 hours into The Last of Us Part 2. Do you guys ever do that before tournaments? Do you GMs ever just boot up Last of Us Part 2 and then play that for 10 hours before your big game?
No.
No, interesting. Interesting. That's interesting. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Well, he's 2-5 head for us, so he has a unique path. It led him to victory yesterday. And Logo, you know you have your work cut out for you tomorrow, but we have to get ready for this interview, bringing on Boy and Box. Stay where you are. We'll bring the players on in just a couple minutes. We are back. We have both Boy and Box joining us. Congrats, Boy. How are you feeling right now? It's a pretty tough match you had.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really hard, honestly. Like it was so easily winnable for both sides. I'm still a little bit shaky, but yeah, I you know, Albert's one of my best friends. It was a little tragic that we had to meet and knock one of the other out, but you know, I'm glad we had a good match, and you know, I barely was able to come through.
And Albert, how are you feeling? I know, of course, the result didn't go your way, but you played some very entertaining chess today.
I feel great. No, I had a great time. I mostly just didn't want to go down, like slowly and uncomfortably bleed out.
So you want to go out valiantly and play a fighting game.
Yeah, I never expected to win, but I'm really happy that up until like the last couple moves where I ran out of time and blundered, it was like still very up in the air as to who would win.
And
Agreed.
Take us back to the first game, because we heard you, we tuned in, and we heard you talking about the preparation you did in the Caro-Kann, and you're like, oh, finally I get some of my preparation. And then it seemed like Boy tricked you, or you felt uncomfortable after he checked you with his queen.
Yeah, I saw it on the replay afterwards that like I very easily could have not lost my bishop, but I just like saw, I was like, he got me. That's totally my bad. That's just me not paying enough attention in class.
Wait, wait, I don't even know. How are you supposed to save the bishop?
Other knight move to block the check.
Yeah,
Oh,
knight
then
to
it
D7.
protects the bishop, huh?
Yeah, I saw in the replay. I'm like, oh my
okay.
god.
Scenario, it's obvious, yeah. But you still played a great game. You went out valiantly, I will say. It was like Captain Dan always dreamed of from Forrest Gump. You were winning the whole way. I didn't know what the hell was going on, I'll be honest. But I was looking at the bouncy thing, and it was white the whole way through, man. Up until literally one move, and then I would not listen to the VOD because Hikaru was very, very upset about it. He was writhing the whole time. It was when you did it. What was it? It was just
I gave them the knight fork.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's when you had, and I think you saw this in the game, actually, the second game when you played bishop to d4. I think after you made the move, you realized you should have put the knight on g3 first.
Yeah.
Oh
my god.
If you had done that one move, I think you almost certainly would have won the game because the whole attack for black falls apart immediately. And I was just wondering, like, if it was really tough in those moments when you saw some of these moves after you made these decisions.
It definitely feels bad to like. It happened like 3 times during that series where like I make a move, 2 seconds later I'm like, oh, there was a much better move available. But that's definitely just like because Boy put me in a lot of tricky situations that I had to spend a lot of time on. Like it's just like because he played well, I was forced to spend a lot of time on those moves, and I didn't have enough time to think about the more critical moves like that.
Right. And well, Boy, you were just saying how it's bittersweet because you had to win a match against your friend. Do you think that impacted you at all during the match itself, or were you able to forget about it? Because in chess at the top level, all the players know each other quite well, and oftentimes you have to forget your friends in the heat of the moment just to play the game in front of you.
No. So after I won the first game, someone posted a clip where Albert was like, Boy is actually a really good guy, like one of my close friends. And for a second I was like, wait, he's trying to get in my head so I get distracted by our friendship, and then I run it down. But no, actually when we were playing, it was just, you know, trying to play a really strong chess player. And, you know, I knew obviously it was Albert on the other side, but it was just bored in pieces at that point, to be honest.
What about you, Albert?
What about me? What?
Was
did the friendship have anything to do with this game?
Well, you wanted to play Boy from the very beginning. That's the only reason you entered this competition.
Yeah.
Master promo.
I spent the last month and a half practicing out my so that I can make it a good match.
Was it worth it?
Financially, no. In terms of like satisfaction, yeah, I had a great time. I had a great time learning the last few weeks.
Dude, same, bro. I haven't streamed League in like 2 weeks, but it's been really fun to like spam chess and try to improve. Like, to be honest, if I didn't hardcore play like the last like week, 2 weeks, and actually try to improve, like Albert would have like wiped the floor with me. Like I think it's kind of almost like inspirational how much every player in this tournament has improved to just get to a level where we can compete at each other and have such close games and like, you know, have underdogs taking games and like in like that, like that match could have went either way, for example. Like, I don't know, it's really cool. And I feel like that's to any like young little Timmies out there trying to, you know, get better at anything or get better at chess, for example, like, dude, we're all us streamers are just like Pepegas, right? And we were able to actually learn a lot and improve. And, you know, it did help that we had some GM coaches and stuff holding our hands along the way. Also, big shouts to all my coaches. I don't want to get cut off at the end. So, yeah, hey, Robert, I see you, bro. Thank you. Hikaru, I see you. Daniel Naroditsky, my man. Hans, what's up, dude? I am Zurability. Zura, thank you guys for all the help and, you know, just lessons and all that stuff over the last few weeks. I think I speak on behalf of like all the competitors that like we really appreciate it. And I think the community also really appreciates because, you know, so many free lessons being redistributed through that form to the chess fans. So I feel like it's just been a really, really cool time.
I don't mean to cut you off, boy, but you
Sorry,
definitely
I was going off.
No, you definitely do not speak on behalf of Slicker. That much.
Okay, true.
Box, I gotta ask you, how many coaches have you had through this?
All the same ones he did.
Interesting.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
Interesting.
this is very suspicious.
Wait, but you had Gotham, right? Your boy.
I had a couple extra ones. I went around asking a lot of people.
No one's telling me about the secret gambling ring that the GMs are having behind our backs. All right, they're teaching us bad. Nobody taught Albert that night move.
Wait, so are you like Thanos, Albert? Were you trying to collect all the GM coaches so you could defeat me? Is that what? Were you missing one in the end, or what happened?
Yeah, Magneto wouldn't respond.
Oh my god, dude! Damn, that was so close. I got lucky.
Oh man. Well, boy, you're moving on to the finals. You're going to face Hutch. How do you anticipate that matchup going?
Yeah, so I was showering while Hutch was playing Nim, but I did see that Nim took the first game off him, and it came down to the Blitz tiebreaker. I think Hutch is really, really strong. I think going into this, like everyone was hyping up Hutch, but like Hutch has been playing for like 20 years. He invented chess. He's Magnus Carlsen's like alter form, stuff like that. Like I mean, my chat has been trying to scare me, like very convincingly. So I think Hutch is really good. It'll be a great finals match, and I'm excited to, you know, battle him for the chess PogChamps crown, I guess.
And well, Box, what about you? So your tournament here is done, unfortunately. Are you going to still play chess? Because it seems like you really love the game, and we've talked about this many times. It's so clear how much progress you've made. You have really improved, perhaps more than anybody since PogChamps began. So what's your chess future looking like?
During this like last month, I managed to find my old tournament records from elementary school. I found out I was a 700 elo Andy. So I was very happy with the progress. As long as there's something to compete over, like I am always down to keep playing.
Me in third grade, you would have great games.
But yeah, as long as there's like something, whether it's Twitch rivals or like some sort of rivalry where I don't have to face a GM, like I'm always down to keep trying to improve and kick Voidboy's ass next time.
Same, dude. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I hope they keep doing more like PogChamps chess events. It's been really fun.
It certainly has. Well, for you, it's not over. Voidboy, you have to play Hutch tomorrow. So best of luck to you.
Thank you. And good luck, Hutch. You're going to need it.
And well, Boxbox, happy belated birthday. I wish you happy birthday on the day, but happy belated.
Happy birthday, Albert. Wait, Albert, were you gonna say something? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I had nothing.
Oh, so wait, why did I have to play my other good friend Mo in the quarterfinals, and it was his birthday, and yesterday was Albert's birthday, and then I had to play Albert. Is it Hutch's birthday like tomorrow? Like what's going on here?
It is Hutch's birthday. He turns 47 tomorrow. So it'll be brutal, man. You got to give one birthday guy a win.
Oh, all right, I got him. Wait, do we need to? Wait, should we sing Albert happy birthday though? Because you
know what?
We sung Mo happy birthday.
Yeah, but it was yesterday.
Wait.
When you say birthday man's in chat there, you know?
When you say we sung Mo happy birthday, I'm pretty sure I led the charge with that one.
Yes, that was very courageous. Wait, Albert left.
He left. he was afraid of you singing happy birthday to him.
Come on, Albert. Happy
Yeah,
birthday, buddy.
He didn't want that. Wait, let me ask you, Void. We have a very important match coming up tomorrow, and it's not your finals match against Hutch. It is XQC against Ludwig. Who do you see as the favorite in that one? And wait, before you start, Ludwig did say he hates League of Legends. So now,
okay, I didn't say I hate League of Legends. I actually love League of Legends. I don't know how to.
Oh,
fall asleep
really?
without it. I don't
What's
know
your
how to fall
favorite? What's your
asleep
favorite
without it.
champion? Name
Yeah,
every skill. Name every item in the game.
I don't get that far, man. It puts me to sleep earlier than that.
So you love League of Legends, but you don't have a favorite champion. I see
Well,
how it is. All right.
I like League of Legends to fall asleep to. All right, I can't fall asleep with with NyQuil every day.
Hey, that makes a lot of sense because I've been putting on your stream lately and puts me right out in like half a second flat, to be honest. So
Wait, you watch my stream?
I've tuned in. You're a funny guy, man.
That's
I
enough. I'll
honestly
take it.
respect.
I'll take it.
But I'd be happy to show you the league rope someday. But I think honestly, I'm gonna go with the young XQC. No offense, Ludwig. Don't hate me, bro. But I saw him. I saw XQC kind of smurf today, and XQC actually plays League. So until you're not a fake League fan,
My Fiddlesticks season 3 would rave everybody in the jungle with no remorse. All right.
Wait, you actually played
level
season 3?
Yeah, I almost made it to level 30, and then I backed out.
Okay, respect. Hopefully no one in chat just spam Fiddlesticks and you just like picked up on that, but I believe you. Okay, now I'm gonna say I don't know who's gonna win. Honestly, it could go either way. It could go either way, like straight up.
Give me your GM black book. I need to go through. I've only been coached by like one GM. Everyone else blows me off. Robert Hess makes fun of me for my English major. Talks about how history.
Wait. Last night I was in your freaking stream at like 4:30 in the morning my time, saying I was happy to help you out. So don't you try to turn this on me.
Robert, that's just something that happened that I'm lying about for content. Please don't bring it up right now. Jesus. Little class, Robert.
Wait, Ludwig, so PogChamps tried to collect all the coaches. If you collect all the chess books, I saw you with that. What was it like the endgame? I don't know.
Dvorsky's.
Yeah,
Endgame.
Dvorsky's. Yeah, just get like Grogotowicz, 10 Skeenzys. Like if you collect the top 5, I feel like you'll just like integrate into your brain and you'll just become a GM overnight.
I'll just use them as booster seats so I can see the match more clearly. I like that.
Oh shit, that's smart.
Well, Voy, I got nothing else for you, but congrats again, man. I'm sure I'll stop by in your stream later, so celebrate, but not too much because you have a really tough challenger ahead of you tomorrow. So,
is the finals tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even know when your schedule is.
1 p.m. tomorrow.
Nope. 1 p.m. Oh, thanks, Ludwig.
I got you. Go fiddle.
Hey, I think me and Albert might be dueling after this also. Get some friendly banter going. But yeah, I think thank you for the good luck. I'll do my best against Hush, guys. Well, thank you very much for the interview and the games. Shout out to all the fans watching. Love you guys. Love the chess community. Thanks for being so cool and embracing and awesome. And yeah, thanks guys.
See you, Voy.
See you.
Peace. Bye.
And we have the championship bracket set. It will be Voy Boy against Hutch. I think that most people before the event started, if you said these would be the finalists, nobody would be surprised. And then the consolation bracket, we still have Ludwig versus XQC tomorrow at noon Pacific time. And then we will see the winner of that take on Moist Critical. He beat Slicker in the other semifinals. So Ludwig, it's been a pleasure, man. I'm kind of sad that you won't be commentating tomorrow because you'll be busy playing.
You know what? I'll do both. I'll just solo commentate while I'm playing. I think honestly, I feel like we should probably just give me the championship prize money and just throw me as a commentator for it. You know what I mean? Because like my commentary skills, I feel like at this point it's so hard for me to transition that I'm the only one out here doing both. You know what I mean? Taking Alex's job and beating players.
True.
But we'll see. I do want some coaching. I might hit you up, Robert. I'd hit you up, Hikaru, but I think you'll probably just teach me something wrong so XQC can win one.
I mean, I was going to say I'd probably help your opponent. I have a feeling he's probably going to be playing The Last of Us for
yeah, I think
he's
hit hour 11 of The Last of Us 2, and his title is further in the game than them, and it's pointing these ways. So if he took a chess break, then the title would be a lie, and we know that he doesn't want to do that. So, maybe 30 hours into his stream, you'll help him out. If not, though, hey, I'm here, man. If you want to help me.
For sure. Yeah, I might take you up on it, but at any rate, I mean, certainly good luck. And it's been a lot of fun having you both as both playing, but also doing the commentary. I've really enjoyed it.
Wow. Well, after that sentimental moment, I think we have to sign off. Thank you to everybody who's been tuning in. Thank you to Chess.com, the production staff, everybody who's been helping out, the mods. It's been great. And tomorrow will be the last day. So don't be sad. Be glad that it happened. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Till tomorrow.